Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee. Join me today as we go and collect the 3008 that we bought from Aston Barker last week. If you haven't checked out that video, please check out the auction video in the link description below where we bought the Peugeot 3008 and had a quick look around the auction, so please check out that video. So I'm here today at Aston Barker. We're here for the sale. Well, I'm not filming today for the sale, we're just here to collect the Peugeot. So let's go, we've got the key, let's go and have a look at it, see what we've bought, and hopefully we haven't bought 11. Let's go and have a look. Here she is. Right. Will she start? No. We got a flat battery. So it's not a good start, we've got a flat battery. I'm going to pause the video, I think. I'll get it out of the auction and we'll do a proper walk around there. But not a good start to the day with flat battery. Right, I've got the car back from the auction. I was going to do the walk around there, guys, but to be honest, with the battery being a bit dicky, I thought it'd be best just to get the car back here and see if the battery was behaving itself, which it appears to be doing now. So we've had it see. It's been laid up for a few weeks, so we'll, you know, it's not the end of the world. The battery's gone a little bit flat, but we need to keep an eye on that because we might need to put a battery on it. So we'll see how it goes for the workshop. If it starts behaving itself, we might be okay, but if it starts to go flat again, then obviously it's on its way out. So like I said, it's a 2013, it's a Active E model, so nothing particularly fancy about this one. Pretty middle of the road, to be honest, but it's a nice thing. I like the colour. It's very, very dirty. It's got some mud thrown over it on the back lanes, but let's have a quick look around her anyway. So we saw her through the auction anyway, so we know roughly she's pretty clean, but get close and personal on her. So good tyre on the front there, Joy Road budget tyre, but lots of tread on it. Good 6-7mm on there, which is great. The discs, a little bit tired, I'd say. They don't look that old, them discs. They've got a little tiny lip on them, but they're not that old. But they have looked like they've been stood for a while, so we might need to strip and clean them front discs. Lots of meat on the pad, so we might want to strip and clean just to freshen them up a little bit and go from there. So we'll obviously do that when we get it through the workshop. Panels covered in mud, but straight, no damage or scratches to mention here. Again, on the sides, nice and straight, absolutely caked in dirt, but under the dirt, as we saw on the video when we bought it, it's actually a really straight thing. Nice colour as well in this dark blue, little bit of a metallic flick in it as well, which is nice. Tyres on the back aren't great. This one is a Is it a Rotella? Yes, a Rotella, which I do not like. It's a budget tyre, not a tyre brand that I sell. I've seen many Rotellas on MOTs, not even that old, and they are just garbage, really. So it's not a tyre that I particularly like selling, and so they're going bald as well, which is probably down to tracking being out. But we're going to need to replace them. So definitely a tyre for the back we're going to put on there. But again, wheel good nick, no major curbs or dings on her. Again, nice and straight on the quarter. Desperately needs a wash. On the rear, again, straight body on her. We've got no damage. The old split and fold tailgate, did like that idea. Very Range Rover-esque. I mean, we're not comparing this to a Range Rover, let's get real, but nice little feature you get on these, and that's all working fine. Nice spacious boot as well. Moving on to the near side, clean again, nice and straight. Wheel, a little bit chippy on the wheel, starting to oxidise a little bit. So tyre, again, going bald on that outer edge. Another Rotella tyre, so they're coming off, definitely. But nice and clean, all on the sides clean. Onto the front, a wheel again, a little bit chippy on there, but you know, it's 140,000 miles, you expect to see that. And a tyre, a Winder tyre, budget one again. 6-7mm tread on it. So really, on the body, if we saw on the video of the auction when we bought it, it's alright, to be fair, it's clean, so we're not too fussed about that. So we move on inside. Once a valet, obviously, as you would expect. We have just the one key here. I think we may have a spare key in the pack here, we'll have a look in a minute. Central locking is all working, which is good. Make sure we have to check on one of these because I've had a few of these with the central lockings packed up. It's an automatic, so looking for auto N. There we go, we're in neutral. Quick foot on the brake, and she fires into life. Turn that down a minute. 142,000 miles. So like I said, we knew that was quite mileagey, but 13 plate, Car cost £1,239. I'm quite chuffed with that, to be honest with you. I think that's quite cheap, provided it drives okay, which we'll get onto in a minute. So let's say no warning lights to worry about, anything like that. Everything's going out as it should. Just show that again for you. Stop light there, and it all goes out. We've got no warning lights, which is a great result. Stereo working. Tuned into Radio 1, I've not touched that, so that's all working fine. We've got your built-in CD player. Heaters are all working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all working, so we've got no issues with the heater or the resistors. Also, crucially, put it in gear, let off the foot brake, touch the accelerator. The automatic handbrake release is working, which is good, because these can suffer with faulty handbrakes. Worth checking on these as well. For MOTs, we get a lot of these on MOTs. These switches can play up as well and break, and they're easy to fix and repair. You can pick these up for about 20 quid for a switch, but they do go faulty and break away, so just make sure they're functioning properly. Just make sure your park brake is applying on and off, and the switch isn't coming loose or anything like that, so always check them on these 388s. Other than that, really, inside here it's quite pleasant, it's nice. We've got no real tears in the seats, the interior is clean other than what in just a basic valet. It's just acceptable, good. Not even much wear on the steering wheel as well. For 145, you would expect it to be a bit torn to pieces, but it's in good order. So I'm quite pleased with this so far. Let's have a quick look at the pack history. So we've got all the bits here. Let's have a look at this brown envelope. I suspect in here we have a spare key. Yep, spare key. There we go. So, spare key for it, which is good. Probably wants a battery in it, but we can sort that. What we've got here, we've got the logbook, we've got a CAT valuation report, so every part X it's left the valuation in there. Is it out of interest? There's no details on it, personal information, no. They are valuing this car clean at trade £2,050. I think that's a little bit rich. Below average £1,450. I mean, we picked it up for £1,50, so you could argue we got a bargain. But these, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. They're only a valuation. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean it is worth that. It's just a guide in a sense. But paperwork wise, let's say we've got the logbook. We've got 2 former keepers. Paperwork wise, we've got 2 former keepers on the logbook, so it's not had many owners. We've got a full V5, which is handy. We've got receipts here for set of brake pads last year. Oh no, sorry, set of brake pads in early January of 21. It's a bit of go then for the rear. We're going to do a strip and clean on the brakes anyway and check them out. A service done there, 195 quid, 2017. We've got, that's an MOT. Got a bit of work done here. Timing belt. Oh, that's what we want to see. So that's had a timing belt done at 109,000 miles. Had a cam belt done, 380 quid. Timing belt and water pump, and a couple of trap ends as well. That was a while ago, but 109,000 miles, that's not bad really, because we're on 142 we're on now. So, you know, alright, fine, it's done, what, the best part of 33,000 miles, but it's not due one. Obviously we'll check it, you know, we'll get the cover off and just make sure it has been done, because some people can tell fibs, but I'm quite happy with that. I was worried they would have to put a cam belt on this, so that's saved us a bit of money, which is great. Let's have a quick look in the back. Locking wheel up there, that's good. Look, cubby holes, make sure that I've seen these full of water before, so make sure they're alright. We've not got a fish pot, we've not got a pond in here or any fish in there, no, which is always good. Seats, what a shampoo, but they're alright. Quick look under the bonnet. So under the bonnet we've got the 1.6 HDI Peugeot engine. Finds it in lots of Peugeots and Citroens. Also makes its way into a couple of Fords and some of the Volvos as well. Very decent little engine. As long as you change the oil in these, they actually offer quite good service, to be fair. Quite a decent little diesel engine, offer good miles to the gallon, and performance is pretty decent for the engine size. Got fresh coolant in there as well, which is always a good sign. Someone's been keeping the maintenance up. Nice rag there, someone's best blouse. Yeah, it's pretty clean under the bonnet. Nothing really too major to worry about. Obviously we'll be checking it as it goes for the workshop, so if we find anything we'll address it. But no, happy with that. So really in all, this car is actually alright. So we need to really go for a drive, go through what we're going to need to address and look at, and then work to get it through the workshop, and then sort of build a list of what we need to do to get it ready for sale. So let's go and rig the camera up and go for a drive. Right. There we go. So, into auto, let go, handbrakes come off, and we're away. Now what's worried me when I bought this car, and I mentioned, and a few guys mentioned it in the comments as well, is that auto box. Now there's nothing wrong with these Peugeot Citroën auto boxes and the way they perform. There's no, you know, they're perfectly good boxes. It's just the reliability is a little bit questionable. I've had a few C4s over the years, and Picassos, and a few of these other Peugeots with this auto box system in, which is a bit of a funny one. It's like a semi-automatic system. It's got like a sort of a clutch system built into it, so it's quite smooth in the way it operates. It's a good system, but when it goes wrong, it goes spectacularly wrong, and they're quite expensive to fix. So you really can sort of drain all your profit out of it. But this one, acting perfect. Going through the gears nice. We've got the paddle shift here as well, so that's blipping up and nice as well. Changing through the gears, 4th, 5th, moving absolutely perfect. Responsive, just as it should be. So luckily, I can tell you now and report the gearbox is 100%. Drove it all the way back from the auction, like I said, a good 35-mile drive that was, and we got zero problems and faults. So I'm really, really chuffed with the box. Second bit to worry about would be the engine. Now, the 1.6 HDI engine from the Peugeot Citroën, not actually a really bad engine, to be fair. Yes, if you drive them around towns and don't do any long journeys in them, you'll get DPF faults and stuff, but you get that on any modern diesel you drive. You know, if you're doing short journeys in one, you'll get faults. But other than that, really, the main faults on these, you get a few injector faults that go on them. I've had a few cam belt snap as well, which is why I'm really pleased we've got that cam belt receipt as well. So we'll have to check that. Hopefully that has been done, because they are premature for snapping. So that's a relief. I've seen a few go with injector seals, like I said, but that's not the end of the world to fix. And the odd turbocharger go faulty as well, where they get bad feed to them, or the oil pump goes. But this engine's pulling absolutely fine, no issues. They say it's running through the gears well, we've got no smoke, engine's pulling, performance is good, no engine lights or warning lights. It's all running absolutely superb. So we've got a fantastic engine, we've got a fantastic gearbox, and we've got a fantastic body. It's looking good. But what does it need doing? Well, a few little bits, I think, so far. What I've noticed, first of all, steering is way off. The steering definitely needs attention. When I'm in a straight line now, and the steering wheel is off to the right, so it's way off, and I think that's what's causing the tyre wear on the back as well. It's all the geometry is just way off. It's going to need tracking, definitely. It's not very nice to drive in a straight line. You're sort of having to fight and wrestle it, and it's pulling, wandering all over the place. So we need to get that on and sorted. We've also got a few knocks and bangs on the suspension, which I suspect is going to probably have a tractor ends or drop links, something like that. Maybe even a wishbone arm, who knows? We'll have to get it on the ramp and see. But we've got knocks and bangs where we go over the potholes and the bumps. It's just a little bit woolly, and it just needs all the dressing. So let's say we can get that sorted. That's not the end of the world. I don't mind doing suspension stuff. It's doddle, it's easy. Rather be doing that than mucky engine jobs. What else needs doing? Well, we'll strip and clean the brakes all round. We'll do them. They could do with a dressing because it's been stud and they just look a little bit scabby. They're not actually that bad. They just want cleaning up. And it's good just to get them apart and clean up all those slider bolts and carriers and just get them all right. So we'll do that. We'll do a service on it as always. So we'll do all the filters and get them changed. But after we've done that, we should have a really decent car. I mean, I don't think they're going to spend the earth on this. Looking briefly, and I've only looked briefly so far at the values of it, this has got to be worth $2.5 grand. Easy. I know it's 13 plate, you think well, that probably sounds a bit too cheap, but it has done 142,000 miles, so we've got to be a bit realistic. But I think $2.5 grand definitely is a minimum. We might be even able to push a bit more, who knows? We'll have a look at that when we've actually got it through the workshop and done, before we start really getting ahead of ourselves. So, I think we need to get it in the workshop now, get a list together, and start getting it cleaned up and ready for sale. So, let's get it in the workshop then.
The voice coming from somewhere.
Right, go on. Tyres are getting quite low. Definitely want changing them. Okay, so we've got the Peugeot 388 out the workshop. We've got a list of what we need to do to it. So let me pull over, go through what we found, what we're doing to it, and how much I think we can get for this Peugeot. Right. Well, like I said, we got the Peugeot through the workshop, got it up in the air, and the first thing we had to do was try and find out that noise. When we're driving along, it was getting lots of knocks and bangs coming from the front end. It actually sounded quite dangerous, to be fair, so we needed to address that quite quickly, find out what was going on. As soon as we got it up in the air, started shaking the wheels, and to be honest with you, it was a bit of a myth. Like I said, I explained this a few moments ago. Eventually, we found out it was the ball joint with the weight on it. It was actually then starting to move, but with the weight off it, it was actually pretending to be. It was actually acting as though there was nothing wrong with it and it was all fine, there was no play in it. But we got there in the end and we sorted that out now. We've got a ball joint ordered, that's cost 25 quid, and that will solve that problem straight away. And we'll get the car all nice and straight on the front end, and then we can then track it up, get rid of all those noises, and it should drive in a straight line and all nice and quiet. Other than that, what else have we spent on this car? We've also ordered 2 tyres for the back. They've cost us £84. We'll get them tomorrow and we'll bolt them on the back and sort out that problem with those 2 tyres currently going bald on the outer edge. They need addressing, so we'll put 2 new tyres on. Then we'll be able to get it tracked up once we've done that and fitted the ball joint. And then we need to order a service kit. Service kit for this is about £50, just shy of, for a filter kit with all the filters we need and a gallon of oil. We'll do that as well, just so it's up to date with the servicing. We have got a little bit of service history with this, including that crucial timing belt being done, but a good service, but a fresh service out the door now will just give that owner peace of mind going forward as well. So what have we spent on this car total? Well, we paid £1,239 for the car, including the fees. We then spent £25 today on a ball joint for it. We're then going to spend £84 on the car for a set of tyres for the rear. We're also going to spend just shy of £50 on a service kit for it, and we'll get that all done tomorrow as well. And then finally, we're going to drop it off at the valeters, which we're about to do in a minute, and get it all valeted. Now, usually, I'd valet it myself, get a few hours, I get an hour free after work, I give it a wash and a brush up, give it a good polish, and then just give it a valet out inside and get all the seats shampooed. But at the moment, I've just come back from holiday, New Year, the garage is busy, we've got lots of MOTs to get through and lots of work to get through, and I've just had an influx of part exchanges as well. So I've got lots of cars I need to film, lots of cars I need to do up and get ready and get through the workshop and get sold. So really at the moment I just haven't got the time. So I'm going to drop it off at the local valeters, give them some work to do and get it valeted as well. That'll cost us about 40 quid to have a full bells and whistles valet done on it. So in total we'll spend £1,438 to be precise, will be the total amount that we should spend on this car. So what will we get for it? Well, as I mentioned earlier, I thought it would be at least £2.5 grand. Now, I had a look on Auto Trader, and that would seem true. Somewhere between that £2.5 to £2,800 mark will roughly be where this car will be sitting at. Now, there's other cars around that around that figure that have got similar mileage, but are actually slightly older. But this one's a 13 plate, so we might be able to give ourselves a little bit of edge over the competition with being a little bit of a newer car, a bit of a fresher plate on it. That might help us sell it if we just plonk it somewhere in that middle, rather than trying to go for the top end of the money. It has done 140,000 miles on it, and I know it's clean. It's got a bit of history. Cam belt's been done, full MOT. Everything's good. We've got everything that can be right on it is right. But, you know, I don't want to be too greedy with this. We don't want it sitting around and lying around the place waiting for someone just to come in a month or two to buy it, because we're asking for another 150, 200 quid more than we should. Let's just get it in at a sensible price. I think £26.95. We'll chip a little bit if we get chipped. We can give 100 quid off if need be. We can get it gone at sort of a £2,500, £2,600 ideally, and make a nice bit of profit on it. Now, if we achieve that sort of figure, we should be getting around £1,200 profit, which would be a fantastic result. So we'll get that service done tomorrow and get that ball joint put on, and then it's done really. Bolt the 2 tyres on. We're going to get this dropped off to the valeters now, and we'll pick it up in the morning, and then hopefully we can get it all finished off and up for sale for this week. Actually turned out to be a fantastic bargain from the auction, so a great purchase from Aston Barkey there. Believe me, they're not always like this. Sometimes you get one and there's loads of things wrong with it, but we've done well on this occasion. You know, at the end of the day, you pay your money, you take your chance. That's how auctions work. But luckily this one's turned out all right. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Please check out my other videos. I've got lots coming over the next few weeks. In particular, I've got lots of part exchanges that have just come in, so I've got to get them filmed. I'm doing that every day at the moment, trying to get you guys content out there. So please like and subscribe to the channel so don't miss out that as it lands. Let me hear your comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.